Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. And now, let's join ace broadcaster MAMODE AKUGHA as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, MAMODE AKUGHA.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Youth leaders from the Niger Delta region under the umbrella of the Niger Delta Ethnic Youth Leaders Forum are calling for the resignation of the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Bayo Ojulari. The over 20 ethnic youth leaders, accompanied by hundreds of youths from the region, staged a protest last week at the NNPCL headquarters in Abuja to press home their demands. The protesting youths also accused the NNPCL boss of deliberately victimizing staff from the Niger Delta and made allegations of several administrative inefficiencies under his leadership.
On Tuesday last week, the 27th of August, as early as 6 a.m., the premises of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL in Abuja, was barricaded by a herd of Niger Delta youths who were led by the Niger Delta Ethnic Youth Leaders Forum under the chairmanship of Joe Youth Council President, Comrade Jonathan Lokpobiri. Tops in the demands of the Niger Delta youth is the removal of the Group Chief Executive Officer of the State Oil Company, Engineer Bashir Bayo Ojulari.
The popular adage is that a stitch in time saves nine. This stitch that Ojulari must go will save more than 9. It will save millions. It will save a whole region. It will save the Nigeria economy. And that is why we are here today on a peaceful protest to call on Mr. President, to call on those who have the allocative powers to so act now and see to it that Mr. Bayo Ojulari leaves that office.
Their reasons include the allegations of victimization of Niger Delta sons and daughters in the NNPCL and the mismanagement and closure of Port Harcourt refinery, amongst others.
Niger Delta sons and daughters who work unemployed even before his assumption of duty have been victimized and sacked arbitrarily. The Niger Delta cannot continue to be a guinea pig. And when development happens, our people are never involved. We have come to say no to that marginalization and victimization of our people. The Niger Delta people, we have qualified sons and daughters. Yes. Our demand is appoint a qualified Niger Delta technocrat.
President Bola Tinubu in April this year appointed Engineer Ojulari, a former executive of Shell Petroleum Development Corporation (SPDC), from Ilorin, Kwara State, to head the state oil company. He succeeded Engineer Mele Kyari. The current NNPCL boss Ojulari were also in the news recently when there were reports of his purported resignation, which was later discredited. The youths who had insisted that they would not vacate the premises of the NNPCL headquarters until their requests were granted later backed down after the representative of the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Heineken Lokpobiri, intervened. While addressing a press conference on Friday, the 29th of August, the youth restated their commitment to the amicable settlement of their grievances.
While our demands remain valid and unresolved, we have decided to temporarily suspend further mass action to allow genuine dialogue with a view to a peaceful resolution.
Meanwhile, the NNPCL boss, Bayo Ojulari, while receiving a delegation of senior staff in the oil and gas industry, claimed that the plans to remove him were by some powerful individuals who he said are not happy with the reforms he is implementing in the sector.
NNPC were under attack. However, we know why this attack is coming. We have our commitment and we are resolved to stay focused, to drive the mandate that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given us. They will not win. They will not win.
He seems to have some backing too, as another youth group from the same Niger Delta, known as the Host Communities Producing Oil and Gas and Pipeline Impacted State Youth Council of Nigeria, have thrown their weight behind him. The leaders of the group, who reportedly held a counter-protest in Abuja and a press conference in Warri, Delta State, say the call for his removal is an aberration and a politically sponsored move.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, says the Commission will continue to support security agencies to protect the waterways and environment of the Niger Delta region. Dr. Ogbuku made this known last week while addressing participants at the 2025 Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference held in Enugu. The Managing Director also noted that inter-agency collaboration remains a sustainable way of ensuring the protection of lives and properties within the region.
During the 2025 Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference held in Enugu last week, the safety of waterways was a major topic of discussion. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, who was part of the discussion, noted that the NDDC has supported security agencies in the region to protect the waterways and the environment.
Just in the year 2023, NDDC supported the Nigerian neighborhoods about 11 billion naira. NDDC supported the DSS with about 6 billion naira to build Safe City Center in Port Harcourt and Uyo, which they can view our waterways and our environment.
More also, as part of the Commission's efforts to improve security, the Managing Director also cited the NDDC Light Up the Niger Delta initiative as part of the Commission's strategy to curb insecurity challenges within the region.
Most of our communities along the waterways today are mirrored to be like shell camp. Because one of the major crises we used to have between communities and the IOCs was when you see the IOCs, they are always illuminated. And in our local parlance, our people normally call illuminated areas shell camp. But today, if you look at the shell camp, you look at the communities, they are equal.
The NDDC helmsman also highlighted the benefit of interagency relationship in supporting security operations and how it is already boosting oil production in the oil-rich region.
Today we have interagency collaboration that is being anchored between the office of the NSA and the Chief of Defense Staff. That interagency collaboration is what has also given us the opportunity to know what the needs of some of these communities are that makes us to intervene.
The Nigerian Bar Association presented a plaque to the Managing Director in commendation of the Commission's renewed effort to the development of the region.
So on behalf of the President of the Nigerian Bar Association and the association as a whole, it is my pleasure to present this plaque to you. Keep up the good work.
In another development, the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has handed over a 55 kVA solar power system to the 16th Brigade of the Nigerian Army in Bayelsa State. Also, a newly constructed road, accompanied with solar-powered street light and a transformer, were also part of the Commission's donations to the Army unit last week. The Executive Director, Projects, Sir Victor Antai, and the Bayelsa State representative on the board of the NDDC, Elder Dimaro Bofa, noted that the support given to the Army is to ensure their smooth operation within the area. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General O.O. Oluyede, while commending the officers and men of the 16 brigades for their resilience and commitment to the safety of the area, also commended the NDDC and other agencies of government that have continued to support the operations of the Nigerian Army.
The NDDC particularly, have been supportive of the Nigerian Army. They constructed this major road there. And the same goes to the government of Bayelsa State, because I went to inspect some projects there that are being constructed by the state government in support of the army. This we applaud and we encourage them to do more.
While this is not the first time the NDDC is supporting security agencies in the region, the Commission says as part of its mandate to ensure peace and security, it would not relent in enhancing their operations within the region.
Inside the Niger Delta, AKUGHA Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. AKUGHA Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development. NDDC at 25.
Making a difference, across Nigeria's oil region, oh yes, this not the day for our region to shine brighter. Development in every place, we will be right here making a difference, NDDC, NDDC, we do for you.
NDDC, 25 years of making a difference.
Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori says the state government is willing and ready to partner with the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) to revive the state's numerous ports for the economic benefit of both Delta State and the federal government. Governor Oborewori made this known last week at the Government House in Asaba while receiving the board of directors of the NPA led by its chairman, Senator Adedayo Adeleye, who were in the state for a 4-day assessment visit.
From the early 20th century up until 1969, the Warri Port in the then British provincial headquarters was a major shipping point of palm oil, palm kernels, rubber and cocoa to England and the importation of textiles and bicycles. An extension of the port, now referred to as the New Port, which began operations in June 1979, was a one-stop shop for oil companies within the Niger Delta region. Along with Burutu, Sapele and Cocoa ports, this contributed so much to the Nigerian economy and promised even more. But all of those potentials today remain untapped due to low vessel patronage. In the meantime, the port in Lagos, which now handles all the traffic that should have been handled by Delta Port, continues to be congested. While several efforts in the past to upgrade and revive Delta Port have not yielded much, discussions on it seem to be on the front burner again as the Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, engaged with the leadership of the Nigerian Port Authority (NPA), led by its chairman, Prince Senator Adebayo Adeleye.
My administration is committed to working with the federal authorities to restore and improve all the ports in Delta State. I appeal that the dredging of the Warri Channel and the repair of facilities in Warri and Cocoa ports be treated as priority. These actions will open more opportunities for trade, industry and business growth.
Delta ports currently contribute about 10.7% to national trade volumes, which is quite impressive. However, there is still need for improvement, which underscores the need for further collaboration with the state government towards addressing some challenges faced by the ports.
While charging companies to ensure a seamless working relationship with host communities in the state, the captain of Timor Agenda assured that his government remains committed to supporting all businesses and agencies operating in the state.
Sometimes the companies operating in Delta State, they have an MOU. They don't keep to their MOU. If you have an MOU with the host community, you're able to keep to the MOU, employ the people, engage them. It's a normal thing that is done everywhere. It's the practice.
The recent engagement between the Delta State government and the Nigerian Port Authority has ignited some optimism, not only in Delta State but across the entire Niger Delta region, where calls for the revival of moribund ports have lingered for years. Stakeholders in the region argue that the revitalization of existing ports and the creation of new ones will not only help to decongest the ever-busy Lagos port, but also better serve the oil and gas industry in the Niger Delta.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doyedire has restated his administration's resolve to deliver enduring infrastructure projects within the remaining 2 years of his tenure as governor. Speaking during the inspection of the Ekremo-Ndoro-Age Road in Bayelsa West Senatorial District last week, Governor Diri directed the Ministry of Works and contractors handling the sand filling and construction of the project to accelerate efforts and meet the 24-month completion deadline.
The Ekremo-Ndoro-Age Road has been in the works since the late 1970s, when the federal government conceived the idea, though it was never executed. Successive governments in Bayelsa State also later pursued the project, but faced delays due to funding gaps, difficult terrain, and the high cost of constructing roads and bridges in the riverine environment. The current administration of Doyedire has revived the project under its Assured Prosperity agenda, with infrastructure development as a core promise. During the inspection of the road, Governor Diri noted that although the initial plan involved collaboration with the federal government, current efforts are focused on completing the first phase.
We thought that rather than waiting, we should start something. And that's why we have started this bit of it, and our first phase target is that of Ndoro and Peretor-Ugbene. And so if we're able to achieve that in the remaining life of this administration, we are very sure that whoever that is coming next will complete the rest for us.
While acknowledging the level of work so far, Governor Diri called on the Ministry of Works and the contractors to accelerate all phases of the project to meet the completion timeline.
Both the company that is doing the dredging work and the company that will do the construction itself. So they have to expedite action to ensure that our timelines are met.
The road also includes the construction of an 80-meter bridge to Ndoro and a 150-meter bridge to Peretor-Ugbene, expected to serve as a major link connecting Bayelsa's West, Central and East senatorial districts. When completed, the road and bridges will also open up access to the Age Deep Sea Port, which is in the pipeline. Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Moses Taibowe, assured the governor that the 2-year timeline for completion of the project is achievable.
It is because of this issue of the clearing and the sand filling. So those are some of the reasons why we decided to give some time for the contractor sand filling to get its own aspect properly done to enable the company.
Because we have 2 years.
So we'll meet up, sir. We'll meet up. We'll meet up. 2 years, we'll drive to Ndoro and Peretor. Yes,
that's our target.
Yes, sir.
And you know that this is one project that we want to hand over completely to the places we have designed to stop. So there should be no excuse by anybody within your ministry and outside your ministry. And we must keep to the timelines as we have specified.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Ovie of Igbide Kingdom in Isoko South Local Government Area of Delta State, His Royal Majesty Patrick Okpomo Agre I has joined others in congratulating sons of Igbide Kingdom who made the recent list of 200 most outstanding Deltans. The monarch, who was at the unveiling and launching of the compendium bearing the list last week, says their inclusion is a testament to their selfless service to first the kingdom, then the state and Nigeria at large.
As the wait for another edition of the 200 outstanding Deltans finally gave way last week, a long list of eminent sons and daughters of the soil who in their distinctive areas of endeavor continue to raise the bar and contribute to the growth and development of Delta and Nigeria was unveiled. Popular names on the list this time around are the likes of the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu of Ishekiri Maternity, and her kinsman, the 4th Ologboshere of Warri Kingdom, Chief Ayiri Emami. Others include media executive who is also the Otota of Igbide Kingdom, High Chief MAMODE Felix AKUGHA, and his kinsman, the Iyashere of Igbide Kingdom, Chief Sylvester Egede, who is with the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA), as well as the wife of the founder of Salvation Ministries, Pastor David Ibiomie, Mrs. Peace Ibiomie. The Ovie of Igbide Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Patrick Okpomo Agre I, who was at the unveiling ceremony in Asaba, the Delta State capital, commended the organizers and congratulated High Chief AKUGHA, Chief Egede, Chief Barrister Benjamin Ovrire, the Uwe of Igbide Kingdom, and other Igbide people for making the list.
We are happy that they are among the 200 outstanding Deltans. It's a thing of joy. They've made their impact on the community nationally too, and they will continue to make their impact in this dispensation.
Respected son of Igbide, Chief Barrister Mike Edegware, also congratulated those recognized and encouraged others to keep adding value anywhere they find themselves.
It's a day that we're inspired, we're encouraged, and a day that has made us to know what it means to add value to a system, to make contribution identifiable and concrete contributions to the development of your place.
For the Iyashere of Igbide Kingdom, Chief Sylvester Egede, it's an honor as well as a call to continue to serve humanity and make impacts.
This will encourage us to do more. In all this, it's an encouragement for the youth who sometimes they hear the slang, education doesn't pay. But now they will hear a new tone that education pays because we have been recognized for what we have done.
One of the organizers, Pastor Powell Ojogo, who explained the selection process for the 200 most outstanding Deltans, hailed High Chief AKUGHA for his stride in the field of journalism in Nigeria, which includes pioneering weekday morning television programming in Nigeria.
Nobody nominated them. The panel sat and we went through the various categories and selected people according to their impact. For someone like Felix AKUGHA, I can tell you he has made a name in the journalism industry. And why not recognize him?
High Chief AKUGHA, while with the defunct DBN TV in 1994, introduced and anchored the very first weekday morning TV show in Nigeria, known as AMTV Live, a development that broke the jinx and set a new precedent in television programming. Later, when he joined Dar Communications, the owners of African Independent Television, AIT, and Ray Power Radio, he again blazed the trail with the introduction of Kakaki, one of AIT's flagship program, as pioneer producer, and also anchored the program for several years. The ace broadcaster rose through the ranks in Dar Communications to the position of Executive Director of News and Current Affairs and later Managing Director of DVSL, a subsidiary of Dar Communications PLC, before his voluntary retirement in 2017 to establish Wovi Communications Limited, a communication and advertising company that owns the award-winning broadcast program Inside the Niger Delta.
High Chief AKUGHA, a holder of a master's degree in political and administrative studies, international relations, has over 30 years of broadcasting experience under his belt. He was recently appointed as the Clan Otota and spokesperson of Igide Kingdom in Isoko South local government area of Delta State. His recognition amongst the 200 most outstanding Deltans comes as no surprise to many who have encountered him or come across his work. In the coming days, High Chief AKUGHA will be joining his monarch, His Royal Majesty Patrick Okpomo Agre I, and his other council members for their very first procession since the institution of the current Traditional Council, as the Kingdom holds its General Annual Conference slated for Friday 5th September 2025 through Sunday 7th September 2025. The event will open on Friday with a grand reception for sons and daughters of the Kingdom, which will be followed by a plenary session where critical issues will be discussed on Saturday. The annual conference will be wrapped up with a Thanksgiving service on Sunday, the 7th of September 2025. Speaking about the annual conference, His Royal Majesty Agre I stated that this will give opportunity for all and sundry to be part of the development of the kingdom. Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Kindly note that you can now also watch our program live on our YouTube channel at NDN-TV Nigeria on Mondays at 9 p.m., Tuesdays at 9:20 p.m. and Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN-TV Nigeria for live updates and many more stories. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, we'll be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles shown right now on your screens. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA, thanking you for staying with us. Bye for now.